Hi, I'm Stacy Archer with Get Cooking, and today we're in Winter Park at Chayote with Mario Pagan.
Awesome. Thank you,
Mario,
Stacy.
thanks for being here.
Pleasure
Tell
being
us
here.
a little bit about your restaurant.
Okay, so this restaurant was a dream that I've had for a long time, and I started looking around in Orlando. I love Orlando.
How long have you been open here?
We are going to be a year open on October 28th.
Great. Well, I've dined here myself, and I can say firsthand, it is an amazing experience. And you're right, it's such a great area to be in Winter Park. So encourage everybody to come out and visit you.
Thank you.
So one thing I want to mention is Mario is a little bit of a celebrity. And, and by that I mean, obviously a celebrity in his own right for this amazing cuisine. But he also was on the Food Network. Next Iron Chef, season 3.
Season 3, a long time ago.
So what were you doing on Iron Chef?
I was actually in New York doing Taste of Tennis. I remember this like if it was yesterday. And I got a random call at my hotel room from the Food Network. And I was like, how did they know that I was here? How do they know my name? You just react like that. And they asked me, do you want to do an interview for Next Iron Chef? We want to invite you. And I said, yeah, sure. Let's do an interview. So we did an interview over the phone. They happened to be at my restaurant while I was in Puerto Rico. So they saw my restaurant and they tasted my food and they, realized that they wanted to invite me. And I was honored. I was just blown away.
So what did you do, just out of curiosity? Do you remember the challenge?
Well, I did a couple of challenges. My first challenge was I think a donut or something like that. No, it was a sandwich. But the thing is that they show you before the challenge, they show you the coolers, and you have the protein coolers and you have the vegetable coolers and all that. But next day, they just kind of move everything around. So when they tell you, and time starts now, you go into the cooler that you thought that you saw the chorizos in or the plantains in, and you go like, where are they? So it's just crazy. It was an experience that I will never forget. I don't know if I will do it again. I think I haven't watched Food Network since then. But yeah, I had 3 challenges. The next one was a donut, creative donut, and then the last one was at the beach. No, 4 challenges, and then the next one was something in Kitchen Stadium, and then I got, ousted. On the second round. But it was a great opportunity. It was a great experience. All the people that I met on that show, Mark Forgione, Ming Tsai, these are great chefs, and we've become friends, and that's what it's all about.
Well, speaking of challenges, as you've taken the Iron Chef Challenge, we're putting you up to a challenge at Get Cooking, and that is to create a recipe that feeds a family of 4 for $20 or less.
Yes, that's unbelievable.
So you want to share with us the recipe?
Yes, we are going to do a picadillo. Picadillo is a Cuban recipe. It's a meat dish, and with ground meat, with olives and onions and carrots and celery and pimiento, cubanel, and we're gonna mix it with some white rice. And what we're going to do is that we're going to do the picadillo, but we're gonna crack some eggs on top of the picadillo, what we call a caballo, that is an egg on top of rice and beef and all that. So it's going to be a fun recipe.
It sounds like one high in protein.
Yeah, it's going to be high in protein.
Good. Now, you've spoken about your Puerto Rican roots.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about food in Puerto Rico. Tell us a little bit about your upbringing and the food that you had when you were younger that inspired you to become a chef today.
Well, Of course, I've always said that the inspiration on my cooking has been all the women in my life. My grandmothers and my aunts, my mom, my nanas, they used to gather around the kitchen every afternoon and gossip, and I like that. And I used to sit on top of the kitchen counter and listen to all these stories, but at the same time, all these smells and flavors and the way that they enjoyed preparing food, like family is something that I can't describe, and I guess a lot of people have a lot of experiences with this, but that's what drove me unconsciously to the food scene, right? I studied architecture in Miami, and all of a sudden I started cooking for friends and roommates and all that, and my friends started telling me, you should go into the food scene because you're really good at it. And I was like, oh, this is just cooking. I mean, back then the stereotype of a chef or a cook, it was somebody behind a counter with a bandana ringing a bell. It wasn't anything luxurious or something that I was really looking forward to because I was studying architecture. So, but art attracts art. So a friend of mine told me, why don't you go into a new culinary school that they opened in North Miami? And I said, okay, so let's take a look at it. So I went there, Johnson & Wales. I fell in love with it. That was the end of it. I mean, that this is my career. I was made for this, and the rest is history.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So do you have any tips for those who are on a restricted budget? These are tough times with grocery store inflation, as you know. Do you have any tips for how to stay conscious of prices, be able to still put a healthy dinner on the table? What are some of the things that you would recommend?
Proteins are the most expensive things right now. So I think that you should be on the lookout for that. I think that thinking of alternatives, of course, instead of meat, chicken, yada, yada, yada. And of course, vegetables. Vegetables are just like accoutrement to the dish usually, but you can do great dishes with vegetables. And I think I have a dish for you that is going to be a sancocho dish that you might like, that is made out of vegetables that we kind of came up with that recipe here. And it's a lot of fun.
Great. Well, Mario, thank you so much for joining us
today.
And we're looking forward to getting in the kitchen and cooking with you.
Thank you. Let's get cooking.
Let's get cooking.